Okay, let's get started. I just started the game and I created a character. Actually, Lana helped me create the character. It's a female warlock. I already created a Titan, and when I played through the storyline the first time through, it was just, a big mess because I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm going to play this the second time through, and during the playthrough, I'm going to try to tell the story of Destiny 1 so that my brother and other friends that I'm going to try to convince to play this game to play with me because games are just more fun when you play it with people. I've read and I've also looked at a couple of videos on the internet. I watched this video that was like an hour and a half on the lore. The guy had a pretty good English accent, but it was just way too long and I lost interest. So let's see what I can do to recreate the storyline without actually having to play the first one because I didn't play the first one, and I was really jealous of the people who did when it came out in 2014 because I have a no console policy unless it's Nintendo. But then I didn't even have a console since the Wii. I briefly got a Wii U, but I gave it to my ex-wife as a parting prize. Um, so far in this one, it starts off with them being attacked. I think this is the tower, and it's being attacked by a bunch of cabals, which we'll get into later. And these are the three vanguards, which represent the three classes that you can play in the game: Hunter, Titan, and Warlock. Now that there's a Warlock helping a Hunter get inside the shield of a Titan. And I think they're important people from the first game, but to me they're just all new characters because I'm new to this. So according to the internet, there was this giant albino Death Star looking thing roaming the universe just terraforming stuff. They said it goes all over the place and finally ended up in Jupiter, trying to terraform Jupiter, which to me, it's, I don't know, terraforming it would be like rearranging a fart in a bowl. It's a gaseous planet. So anyhow, this giant ball is called the Traveler. And you're looking at it right now. What looks like somebody's trying to put one of those parking ticket boot on on it. Okay. Anyway, and of course, it's being chased around the Cosmo by the darkness, which in my mind, it kind of like reminds me of the Shadow from Babylon 5, for those who remember. So, like back in 2001 fashion, we find the traveler off-world on Mars, and we sort of shook his hands, and then it was like, yay! So it ushered us into this like golden age of humanity. And it was anything like me playing Civilization, just means a quicker resource to get all my war machines and stuff ready to crush my enemy. So here that's what Lana created. That's my guardian, and that's her ghost. There's a little talking. So during this golden age, we create exos, which are machines that have human consciousness, and one of the more famous ones in this game is voiced by Nathan Fillion of Firefly. I think his name is Cade6. Yeah, you'll see him here, and he is a hunter. And also during this time of the golden age and everything, we create a powerful AI, a war mind. So we basically upgraded Amazon's Alexa. We call it Rasputin. So, well, nothing really good lasts forever. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a need to make a game for us to chronicle the stuff that happens in it. So the darkness came, and the giant cue ball in the sky sacrificed itself to save us. And I don't know why it saved us. Maybe we have a better 401k plan. But during the fight, the Traveler creates a personal AI called Ghost. That's that floating Rubik's Cube that you saw. Looks like Navi from Zelda. And it helps us, revives us as players, and as a companion throughout the game.
suit? Give me a sec.
Oh, there it is. That's Nathan. That's voice anyways. That's Cade 6. That's pretty cool. Sloop. Just disappears. Huh. So after the event's called the collapse, that's when the big giant Death Star thing goes down to Earth and hovers over Earth, and the people create a city underneath it, and they call it the Last City. And so it's located. It's also the location of the tower, home of us Guardians, where we keep all of our goodies and stuff. And so for those who played in the release in 2014, they called this next part that I'm about to talk about vanilla, or year one. And you start the game, you're awakened by by your ghost somewhere in Russia. And so this time our fight is with the Fallen, a group of like really pale people who are angry, haven't seen daylight in a while, and in other words, we're fighting disgruntled gamers. I'm just going through my menu here. Okay, so I picked up a gun. You do some stuff, and you get to the last city in the first game, and you get introduced to the Commander Zavala, um, Cade 6, and Ikora. She's voiced by the black lady in Firefly. I just don't know her name. I'll look it up later. So those two are reunited. That's kind of cool. Anyway, we let's see. And you also meet the speaker, who is, you know, like the representative of the Traveler. So we have like stuff like the speaker, the Traveler, the Fallen, you know, very original names, I know. But it makes it easy to remember all this stuff because, you know, this is a first-person shooter, and really you just want to go around killing stuff. The storyline is sort of, you know, kind of hacked on, but it does have a storyline, and it's kind of interesting if they flesh it out more with better writers. So you go back to old Russia to fix your ship, and in there you find the Hive, the people who worship the darkness, and you fight them and the Fallen. And on the way you find a Rasputin, who they thought had been lost. And so you head to the moon, and you meet a stranger, the Stranger, who tell you to go to Venus, where you learn about the Vex, another group of people you get to fight. These are a group of smart machines. And then from here, you go to the Reef, which I think is like the asteroid belt, or just inside the asteroid belt. You know, like our solar system's hula hoop. There you meet Marisov. She's the Awoken Queen. She's the only one in the Fallen so far who doesn't want to kill you, because the Fallen have a dark and a light side to them. You then go to Venus, and you sort of like help keep the University of Phoenix, Ishtar Academy, alive, collapsing by defeating enemies, raising tuition, hiring more meter maids to cripple the student body. The lighting effect in this game is awesome. You can always tell when a boss is coming to that shield and they're a little harder to kill. Ooh, I made it through that part without dying. I remember doing it the first time and I died. Okay, so then you find yourself going to Mars to destroy the heart of the Black Garden, built by the Vex, but is in control of the Cabal. The Cabal is the group of, I don't know, everyone around says they look like rhinos, but to me they look like D-Tusk walruses. So at the end of the base game of Destiny 1, you defeat the Cabal on Mars, and the Stranger gives you her weapon, the Stranger's rifle. So after the vanilla or base game, they had 4 expansion packs, and in these 4 expansion packs, they further the game storyline a little more, and they flesh out some of the characters, and they introduce some new stuff, and pretty much it's just a delivery system for more content, like more raids and more things to do after you pretty much done grinding the original game. So in the first expansion pack, we have what is called, it's called the Dark Below, kind of like a ripoff of a Transformer movie or something. Oh wait, this one takes place on the moon, so yeah, very suspicious. Anyway, I digress. But in this expansion pack, you help the former Guardian Eris Morn or something, fight Crota inside the moon. So basically, we kick the Hive's ass and kill one of their leaders. And so the second expansion is called the House of Wolves. So you hunt down Skolas, who is trying to form a new group that threatens the Queen Reaper, that fallen lady, Mara Sol. So in review, this one, we kick the Fallen's ass and kill one of their leaders. And then in the third expansion pack, called the Taken King, this is a little more interesting. Everyone says it has better writing. Oh, look down there. Wow. Yep. Big giant Death Star still has a boot on it. Okay. So in this third expansion pack, called the Taken King, we meet Oryx, the leader of the Hive. And if you remember, we kicked his son's butt in the first expansion pack. So you knew that was going to come back and kick our butt. So here we fight an already existing enemy, but it seems to, this guy, he can take people and turn them into things that can phase in and out of reality and glitches. So in order to save the day, you get some technology from Cayde 6 and sneak it on the ship and disable it, and then take down Oryx, sort of like in, Independence Day fashion. So to recap, again, we kick the Hive's butt again, and we kill the mother of all their leaders, Oryx. Wow. This is the part where you actually meet up with other players, but you don't really get to interact with them. This is sort of like a gathering point, so you get to see other people who are starting out the story too, like that person, and that's the Bala. This is like a tower defense game. Just defend 3 onslaughts.
Don't let them pass the gate. The evac shuttles are back there.
Fall from the sky to destroy. Oh, and then in the last expansion pack of Destiny 1, we have the Rise of the Iron. Here, a group called the Fallen House of Devils, they find Siva. It's a nanotechnology that has the ability to replicate itself into anything it needs to be. Anybody heard of replicators from Stargate? Anyway, these people who use Siva are called splicers. So you meet Lord Saladin, head of the Iron Lords, who the Iron Lords were formed after the collapse to unite humanity. And so you go looking around in the Iron Temple, and by the time you get into the raid, you defeat the splicers and everyone's happy. So again, we kick more fallen ass and kill yet another leader, which then pretty much is the end of Destiny 1 and all the expansion pack. So Destiny 2 takes up about 2 years after the events of the original. So with the tower destroyed, because you just saw that when I first started the video, and the last city is being attacked by the Red Faction. It's a group of Cabal. And the rest of it is just pretty much about to be uncovered by us playing it, grinding it, getting more gear, and waiting for an expansion pack to come. I think it's going to be here December the 2nd. So the rest of the game is just footage of me playing. Thanks for listening.
Zavala. The last of the shuttles is away. But the speaker, he never made it. I'm going to look for him.
I'm Cutler Plaza.
It shouldn't take too long, since I know what I'm doing this time
We're on
around.
it, Commander.
So we come up here. I think we find Ikora. She's pissed, so she's gonna. Oh, look at that! What a dedicated little robot. Still working up to the last moment. Surprise!
Ikora! The speaker is gone. Red Legion, you will take no more from me, and you will find no mercy in me!
Boom! I like the hand-to-hand combat. It's kind of neat.
She'll
Oh,
find the speaker.
there goes
We need to
Ikora.
move on that command ship. Now head to the North Tower. I'm sending Amanda Holiday to pick you up.
This tree is kind of neat. Yeah, you just shoot their backpacks and they explode, and if they're around other people, that's less bullets you have to waste. Kind of reminds me of like a market in Istanbul. Or Chinatown in LA.
Holiday is inbound. We need that
Ooh,
ship
a
off
bar.
the field.
Run! That's what I feel. Quick dodging. Boom. Just touch him.
Someone told me you need a ride.
Ooh. All right. Guess I get off the ship. I mean, this planet.
Zavala, picked up that Guardian you never shut up about?
Get them on that command ship now.
Hold on back there! Come on, big guy. Do something. All right, Guardian. Time to kick 'em where it hurts.